So I'm going into this one sight unseen. This is Breachway. I'm playing it on our FTL day because it has some serious FTL vibes to it, and I'm pretty interested in seeing what it is all about. The thing that adds that FTL does not have is a little bit of a card angle. So we're going to be managing a crew from the looks of it. We're going to be managing weapon systems on the ship, and yeah, let's just get into a run and see what this is all about. Hopefully there's a bit of a tutorial. Dig in the soundtrack. Okay. So before starting a game, you need to select a ship. Each ship has different weapons, shield generators, and support equipment. Sounds familiar, but cool. This results in a different starting deck and play style. Equipment. So we have equipment over on the left-hand side. Equipment such as weapons and shield generators are mounted on the appropriate hardpoints present on your ship. Each piece of equipment contains a few starting cards and has slots to add more cards as you play. That's pretty cool. Okay, yeah, so our basic missile has 2 Starflare missiles. We have 2 barriers. We have something called target lock, and okay, we will see more of that as we go. But this is a neat concept, and it looks like we do have crew manning, but we'll see about that in a second. Starting ship. For your first run, select the Arbalist as your starting ship. This serves as a good introduction to the game's mechanics. Okay, so there are other ships. Looks like we have the Arbalist, the Marauder. Okay, maybe in the demo we just have these 2, but I do see an ion weapon. I don't know if I can. Okay, I can look over here. Oh, okay, so it does have ion damage. If hull is hit, convert damage to ionize. Interesting. Okay, but we'll come back to that. Let's start with the Arbalist. We'll learn our cards as we go. It looks like we have ordnance, energy, and mass. And then a few other things that are not yet tutorialized. All right, let's get into this and see what happens. It's a pretty game. I like that it's got kind of like a cell shaded type of thing. The ship seems to have stopped moving there. Hey, Captain Nerd Rage. This is Breachway, recommended by another viewer. This game has serious FTL vibes. The system up ahead has been thrown into chaos ever since the Starkin advance force arrived. Around the same time, most comm arrays started malfunctioning, and now inter-system communication has gone totally silent. Some of the local free roamers are claiming that this is being used to cover up something big happening in the system. Okay. Everyone there is on edge now. You should take care in traversing the system. Okay, so very, very FTL inspired. Looks like, I'm curious if we can go from this node to this node and if forward progression is required, or if we're going to see some FTL type of thing show up. But let's just head to this node. Oh, wow. This up here is our ship's status bar. It contains information of your current hull points and credits. Okay, so we have 50 hull points and 150 credits. Click on it to display the ship's full status UI. Okay. Your ship's reactor. It powers your ship, generating resources needed to play cards while in combat. Reactor power is distributed between the following: ordnance production, the main resource for attacks; energy production, the main resource for defensive skills and abilities; and mass production, the main resource for upgrades and repairs. Interesting. Reactor upgrades. You can upgrade your reactor for a cost, gaining 1 extra power per upgrade. Click the upgrade button to do so. Okay, so we will click this. So we're going to spend our 150 credits to get 1 upgrade point, it looks like. Add the reactor power to one of the 3 resource types. You can change the power distribution at any time from the screen using the plus and minus. Alternatively, you can right-click on a resource to remove 1 power and left-click to add. Okay, so if we go and hit a plus here, we increase our ordnance, but much like FTL, we can increase our energy or our mass. Interesting, okay. We'll start with ordnance. Good offense is the best defense or something like that. All done. Click on the ship's status bar again to close the screen and proceed. This is very pretty. I like this. Clearly, a lot of this is still placeholders, but yeah, it looks like we have a path within a path. So this is very FTL centric. Let's see if these nodes are empty. Enemy ship detected. You take a deep breath and power up your ship's combat systems for the first time. Prepare for combat. Okay, card types. There are three types. There are three card types in Breachway, identified by the symbol on the top part of the card. It appears that red are attack cards. Your main source of damage uses ordnance as their primary cost. Okay, so red is ordnance. Green is tactical. Tactical cards for shield and other abilities use energy as their primary resource. And then support cards, such as upgrades and repairs, use mass as their primary resource. Got it. So blue, mass, green, tactical, red, attack, and that is ordnance, energy, mass. Got it. Card hand management. Having the right cards to play for a given situation is key. If you draw cards that are not useful in the moment, you can discard them from your hand by right-clicking on them. This frees up slots for you to draw the new cards at the end of your turn. Okay. So if we don't spend cards, we can draw new cards. And it seems like maybe we always draw up to 5. Enemy cards. Each enemy equipment plays one card at a time. You can hover over the enemy cards to see what the effect it will have. A card can take up to 3 turns to play, indicated by the amount of bars it has. Okay, so it's going to do a shield pulse this turn, and then next turn it is going to do a laser pulse. Once a card bar fills up, it will be played on the enemy's next turn. Cards about to get played are highlighted by a white border. Okay, so this will be doing a shield pulse, and next turn it will be doing a laser pulse. Attacking equipment. Attacking equipment and reducing its durability to 0 will break it, rendering it unable to play any cards, and any effects related to that equipment will be disabled. Once an equipment is broken, it takes 3 turns to be repaired. Attack cards with the precision icon can target specific equipment. So our laser pulses can target specific equipment. Attacks without precision have their damage randomly distributed between the equipment pieces. Okay, interesting. Shields. Shields are your main way of preventing incoming damage. Shield points are persistent between turns, but are reduced by half at the start of each turn. Shield duration prevents shield points from being reduced. Okay, cool. So we could play a barrier if we wanted to. Okay, so this thing is going to do a laser pulse next turn, which is going to do 3 damage. So we probably don't want to play our barrier this turn. It looks like right now we have 8 ordnance to spend, 4 shield to spend, and we have target lock. This deals 1 damage. Play at least 1 attack per turn as upkeep. Okay, so this is a tactical card we could play that would take all of our mass and some of that, but it seems good. What does a conservation do? Gain 1 mass and for every 2 ordnance you spend this turn. Okay, we're probably going to spend a fair amount of that. I'm kind of curious if that goes back up again. So let's start testing this. So we're going to play conservation, which gives us a little buff here. And then we're going to do these are doing 3 damage. So it seems unlikely that we're going to get through this, but we'll try anyways. Okay. Ooh, that did 4 damage. Why did that do 4 damage rather than 3? Oh, the 3 is how much ordnance it costs. It deals 4 damage. Return to the draw pile when played precision. Okay, so we can do another one of these. And then I don't think we need the barrier, but we can play this. I wonder if because I played that second, I've made a mistake. Maybe. Okay. But anyways, they're just going to shield up, and they are not going to use that. So we should draw 4 cards, I think. All right. So there's their shield coming up. I like the graphics. So they now have 3 shield, and they are attacking for 4 damage. So I think we just break their laser pulse here. Okay, target lock did seem to stay online. So okay, so we hit their shield. We hit their shield again. That means that they don't get to shoot their weapon. I like that mechanic. We did also have Catalyst Pulse. I should have looked at this. Deal 5 damage. All pulse cards played this turn deal +1 damage. Ooh, should have definitely played that. Okay, but I think we're good. And they are at 10 hit points, so I don't think we win this turn, but we might. Actually, I think we do. Oh, we don't have enough ordnance. Interesting. Okay, oh, so the +4 is how much ordnance we regain each turn. So I'm wondering, this looks like it's going away this turn. Okay, so yeah, so we only have 5 ordnance. They're just repairing though, so I think we can, what does expand capacity do? Add 1 card slot. Costs 1 mass for every existing card slot upgrade. So it's rather expensive, but we can do this. Let's expand capacity to get a little more, I guess that's essentially draw, for lack of a better description. And then, oh, this is actually the kill. Okay. All right. I dig it. I like the graphics too. It's got a fun vibe to it. After every combat encounter, you get credits and the option to upgrade equipment, which opens up the card drafting menu. Okay, this is familiar to us. You can hover over any piece of equipment to see what the cards you can add do. Each equipment has its own library of cards from where you get a random pick to add. Some more powerful and more advanced cards require you to have a number of cards already in your equipment in order to show up as an option. Okay, so that's nice. So stronger items, you're not going to be able to say draw every turn. Whereas I guess some of these things we're probably drawing every turn because they're the only options from our laser. So we got 35 credits and we upgrade equipment here. So over here, we could get Echo Pulse or Laser Pulse. So Echo Pulse increases our draft, but we would need more ordnance to be able to use it very quickly, and Laser Pulse we already have. Basic Missile Rack. We didn't draw any missiles. So these Starfire missiles do a lot of damage, but they deplete. Okay, so yeah, so they are a limited resource per fight. Auto Shield. Gain 4 shield points, then draw a shield card from your draw pile. Or Rampart, gain 10 shield points if you don't have any shield duration. Disable 1 mass production for 1 turn. So that looks like it's very expensive. Then we have this one, the Laser Armory, which has Take Aim. This turn your attacks deal +1 damage for 2 tactical. Or Harnessed Strike. Gain 1 shield point every time you play a laser or ion card. It's rather expensive, but Harness Strike could be useful for gaining a little bit of defense when we attack. And then we have War Effort. Gain one artillery. No, it's ordnance. For every 1 ordnance production, draw an attack card. We have Ammo Dump, gain 5 ordnance deplete. Ammo Dump seems kind of interesting for getting a big turn, but I don't think we need it. I kind of like the idea of Harnessed Strike. Because I think that gives us a really nice way to generate a little bit of shields. We'll see if that comes in handy. Okay, undetected enemy ship approaching. Ships have a chance to catch you off guard and make you start combat with a disadvantage. In these cases, the enemy ship goes first at the start of combat. Ooh. All right, that means we're probably... Does that mean we just immediately take some damage? Missiles. Your enemy just fired a missile. Missiles have a delay of 1 or more turns before they hit. Time in which you can shoot them down with a point defense card, or add shield points to prevent damage. You can see the incoming missile in the lower left part of the screen above your hull. Okay. Each turn, you generate resources based on how much reactor points of each type you have added. Okay. Once per turn, you can remove reactor power from one resource type by right-clicking on it and add it to another by left-clicking. Interesting. Okay, so we can do live balancing, but it looks like we can only transfer from one system to another one power pip. Okay, so we can put down a barrier, which is 6 shield points. This is hitting for 4, so I think we want to do a barrier, because that's going to hit next turn. And then all we have left is we can technically... Yeah, this gets our engine going. I don't see any reason not to get that fired up. And then I think we're best off targeting their weapon system. Okay. And now hopefully our shield blocks the missile. Good stuff. Okay, now they have a shield of 6. And they're going to be firing a missile. But we know that the missile has a 1-turn delay on it, I believe. I hope that that continues to be the case. Let's do Harness Strike. Oh, Catalyst Pulse is very expensive in terms of mass. So we can't actually do Harness Strike unless we choose not to do Catalyst. They have 6 shields, so we'll do a bit of damage to the missile, but the missile's gonna get fired regardless. Let's do Harness Strike and... I don't know, actually. Because this shield is gonna half itself, and then they're not gonna do a barrier for a while. So we might want to do a defensive turn here. Add 1 card slot. Oh yeah, this one's very expensive. We could do it, but I don't think we need to. We actually don't have any defensive cards. I think we need to discard some to get some defensive cards drawn. So let's do Harness Strike and a Laser Pulse. And then expand capacity and rearm we will discard. And then the missile should take 1 turn, and we're hoping we draw a barrier. Okay, missile is incoming. That's what this indicator down here indicates. So we can play the barrier. That's all of our shields. It's a little nerve-wracking, but they only have 1, so I think we're going to break their missile here. Nice, okay. And then we can hang on to target lock. I think Catalyst Pulse is too expensive. We're not going to have 3 tactical next turn, so let's discard that. Okay, so now we'd like to stop the barrier because the barrier is kind of expensive to break through. Should have played target lock first. Yeah, definitely should have played target lock. And then I'd like to just have shields just in case they get anything up. But I think they are, they're out of commission here. Oh, we didn't play conservation this time. Got it. Okay, and shooting something that's being actively repaired does not seem to make a huge difference. We're just going for the kill now. All right. Okay, we get our 35 credits, and we get to upgrade our equipment. So you could get a paired pulse, deal 3 damage 2 times precision. Paired pulse seems very good. I don't know why we haven't drawn any missiles yet. Oh, it's because we haven't powered that system? I don't know. This one looks the same as that one. That's interesting. Deal 2 damage 4 times in 1 turn. Or deal 6 damage in 1 turn. So these are heavier hitters. Gain 2 shield points for every production. Relentless. 33% chance to return an attack card from your discard pile to your hand every time you play an attack. Or Streamline. For every turn, each laser attack played reduces the cost of all other laser attacks by 1 ordnance. Streamline seems very good. I kind of like the idea of Streamline. Let's go with that, because I think that means we're going to be able to shoot our lasers more. And then maybe we can pick up something that returns laser cards to our hand. Okay, so we have an escape pod. Ooh, I think we'll probably get a new crew from this. As you notice a distress signal coming from the escape pod, someone has probably fled a critically damaged ship. Pick it up and open it. You pick up the pod and pry it open in the cargo bay. It contains a panicked but relieved free roamer that proceeds to breathlessly tell you how he managed to escape just before his ship was torn apart by a torpedo. Welcome him aboard and proceed. You just picked up a crew member. On pickup, a crew member gets automatically assigned to the first empty spot in your ship. Open the ship's status UI to inspect the crew member. Okay, so we just picked up this. Oh, okay, so crew members need to be positioned in next to an equipment to operate it. So it looks like this is a weapon mount slot. Oh, the reason we haven't had missiles is because we didn't have a person manning it. Okay. This makes the equipment show up during combat and adds an additional card slot to your hand. Hey, Jeff. Yeah, before we get into FTL, we're trying out an FTL Slay the Spire mashup. Crew keywords can affect some narrative event outcomes or change the way an event plays out entirely. I love it. Okay. So we picked up Finn, who is pirate savvy and human. Okay, and we're going to equip them on our missile launcher. We have nothing in our cargo bay. We do have another weapon mount that we should think about doing, but we can now close that. So we have a credit cache or a maintenance dock. I'm going to assume that a maintenance dock is for repairs. It might be for upgrades too, but we don't have a lot of money. Let's go to the credit cache. The signal you picked up from the encrypted credit cache seems to lead to some debris that was once a trading post. You quickly attempt to hack the onboard computer before anyone else can pick up the signal and show up. We open the cache, we get 50 credits. Okay. It costs 175 to get our next reactor pip. So those are pretty major. Now what is this? This is a space station. We have a reactor upgrade or an escape pod. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, this is cool. So far, I really like this. Ion attacks. Ion attacks only damage shields. When hitting hull, any point of ion damage will instead be 1 ionize. Ionize effects are different based on who it is applied to. On the enemy, every 6 ionized points will delay 1 random card by 1 turn. On the player, 6 ionized points will disable 1 point of resource generation from a random resource for 1 turn. All ionized points get removed at the end of turn. Okay, so somewhat similar here. So we also have Flak. Deals random damage within a min or max range. Most attacks have a shredding value if hull damage is dealt by the attack is equal to or higher to that value. It will add shred points to the enemy. Each shred point increases the minimum damage dealt by the enemy flak by 1. Shred is reduced by 1 on its own turn. So this is almost like a bleed modifier, it seems. So let's see. So this light barrage is going to do 2 to 5 damage, shredding 5. So I think if it hits for 5, it shreds for 1. And then the sling is going to do 6 ion damage. So it seems like there's a lot of stuff going on here. And we don't have... So we can shield for 1, it looks like. That's the best I think we can do. And that's if we play Harness Strike. Oh, and Star Flare is not an ion. Gain 2 ordnance if you end your turn with 3 or less. It's an upgrade. Streamline. Yeah, we no longer have access to attack cards here or blocks. So this is going to be a bad turn for us. I think we do fire that missile. And then we might as well set up our streamline. It's that or we set up harnessing strike for the future. We might need it. And then we discard those. Okay, so we take 4 flak damage there. Our missile hits, though. And it looks like our missile hit the flak barrage. So we're probably going to want to do some work there. We have harnessing strike. The sling blade is going to do 6 ion damage. So I think we probably want to put up the barrier and then hit them with the laser pulse on their flak. And then we might as well send out another missile. And then if we can play this, why not? Okay, so we block that with our shield. We knocked their flak offline, which is good. And then we build up a little bit of shields via our laser pulse. The catalyst pulse seems very expensive to operate. So what happens if I try and shift things around? If I take one off of here and put it here, that only changes the income for this turn. Yes, I think I might want to do that, Captain Nerd Rage. I think you are correct. Let's disable their sling, though. Okay. And then I'll hang on to the barrier, but I think those two can go. Yeah, let's look at this again. Gain 1 for every 2 you spend this turn. Yeah, so this is a freebie, and we should definitely play it before our lasers. Yeah, because that gives us a nice chunk of that. And do we float all of this, or is there a maximum? Okay, it looks like there isn't a maximum. That's interesting. Okay, so then we can target lock, and this should give us the kill. Oh, we didn't have enough resources, actually. Okay. Yeah, because we're not generating enough ordnance. All right. Noted. Okay. Okay, combat rewards. To take an equipment and subsystem reward and drag them over your cargo bay. Okay, so we got a shield initiator. Start combat with 3 shield points. That seems very good. We get to upgrade one of our equipment. So let's see. Echo Pulse. Light Torpedo. Deal 8 damage after 2 turns. Requires 3 production. Auto Shield. Gain 4 shield points, then draw a shield card. Auto Shield seems quite strong. Gain 2 shield points for every production. Total of 6 right now. Laser Armory has no upgrades. I kind of like the idea of getting a little more damage, because I feel like knocking out systems is pretty critical. What does that indicator mean? The 3 with the X. So this says it's precision, so I think it just that just means it deals 4 hull damage. I like paired pulse. I like 2 hits here. Well, this one's cheap though. Oh, actually, this one because of the draw laser card, I think is better for us. I'd like it if we could. It doesn't seem like there's a deck thinning option. Subsystems. Subsystems like the one you just got add various bonuses to compatible equipment and the cards that belong to it. Open up the ship's status UI and take the subsystem from your cargo buy and apply it to your shields by dragging it to the equipment. Only 1 subsystem. Okay, I like this mechanic. This is cool. So the shield initiator goes on the shield Mark 1. And that takes up... Okay, so this elongated box is that. Interesting. Okay, that's very cool. And it looks like you discard it if you want to get rid of it. So maybe it doesn't... maybe it is destroyed afterwards. All right, space station. You're approaching a free roamer space station and local trade hub. This should be a safe point to repair, resupply for the rest of your journey ahead. Okay, prepare for docking. The store tab is where you repair your ship as well as buy and sell equipment and subsystems. Okay. You can remove cards from the equipment you own by selecting the equipment and clicking on one of its cards. That will provide you with a button to remove that card for a cost. Okay, so I think we do want to do that because we have 1 laser that's just too darn expensive. So I'm thinking about Catalyst Pulse. I think it's quite pricey. So let's see. What else can we buy over here, though? Charged Shield costs 200. We could get a PDC array. So this is the point defense. So this is like a drone that prevents you from taking missile damage. It's also quad flak. Has flak barrage, covering fire, and charged shot. I mean, flak is so good. We could also get a repair kit or an ammo pod. Yeah, I think we're not building around it though. That's the challenge, I think. So let's see. So I like the idea of getting quad flak for our last weapon mount, and then maybe moving Finn over. I don't know if I like missiles very much. I think their delay makes them less impactful. If I click on you, I can't see the... Oh, I can see. Okay, so yeah. So we have flak barrage, 3 to 7 shredding, covering fire, 2 to 6, 10% chance to discard an enemy attack card for every point of hull damage. So these all require mass. So flak is a mass-based attack. And then charged shot, if the enemy has shields, deal max damage. Ooh. Yeah, I like quad flak. We can afford it. Let's get this thing bought. We can put it in our weapon mount. We can move our crew over to that. And we can sell our missiles too. Let's do that to get a little bit of money back. Leaves us with 90, so we can get a repair if we want to. What is the ammo pod? 50% chance to add a Firefly missile card to your draw pile after every missile fired. Okay, we don't care about that. So let's repair 4 for a cost of 10. That leaves us with 80. And then the repair kit, we could get some of that, but I think we probably save our money because we want the next one. We're going to need a bit more mass to be able to power our flak. I do think the Catalyst Pulse should go. How much does that cost to remove for 100? We're a little too broke to be able to remove it unless we sold something out. There's also an external attachment and an auxiliary mount, but I think I guess we're good because removing the card is a little too expensive. Yeah, we can't afford anything else, so I think we're off. Yeah, let me look at Catalyst Pulse again. So this is all pulse cards played this turn deal 1 damage. Yeah, it just seems hard to enable, but maybe it's good. Okay, let's continue with our journey. I don't know if our energy our energy production might be a little low. I love the way I think there's supposed to be like a flash of light to make it disappear there. But, so let's see. So right now, maybe we don't need 4 mass. Maybe we can do like this, 3, 2, 3. We'll see. Heat. Ships have a heat resistance and dissipation value. Oh, I see. That's this fire indicator that we haven't seen before. Heat resistance is the amount of heat a ship can sustain before overheating. Dissipation is the amount of heat removed at the end of each turn. Okay, those make sense. Once a ship overheats, it will take 1 hull damage for each point of heat above its heat resistance value. Okay. So they're gonna shield pulse here. Then they have an ion missile. And they have a beam sweep with ignite 2. I can't help but feel like we probably want to maybe we just flak barrage and do this. So this is for every 2 ordnance. So we want to play this for sure, because this is going to be generating shields for us essentially. This is not doing anything. So let's go flak barrage. We don't target the flak barrage. Interesting. We did get the shred though. Then we can do covering fire. Oh, which discards that, which is cool. We'll discard that. And then I think I think I'm going to reduce, because we have a lot, we're stacking up a lot of shields, so let's move more to power. Like 6 is probably enough. That gives us the ability to play 2 barriers. Our flak just did insane work, though. Yeah, so that pushed back the beam sweep. We do have the ion missile we're going to have to deal with. We have Echo Pulse, but we can't quite get... We don't have quite enough ordnance. Charge Shot is guaranteed to do 7. They have 3 shields, which means it will do 4 damage to them. But then we're broke. Play at least 1 attack per turn. Okay, so if we play... We can play this because we're at... Ooh, we're now at 5. Okay, that was not my plan. We don't have enough mass now to do the Charge Shot, unfortunately. Let's play the Echo Pulse for 5. Yeah, for 5. And I guess let's take out the Shield Pulse. Or deal some damage to it. And we'll hang on to our barrier until next turn. Let's discard 1 Laser Pulse so we do a bit more. Because breaking the shield on the enemy item doesn't reset its progress bar, but getting it discarded does reset its progress. Yeah, that's the way it looks. Okay, we have an ion missile coming in, and they just put up some shields. That's doing 12 ion damage. So we're probably just gonna... So that doesn't do hull damage, but the beam sweep does. Do we have any way to do 9? The Charge Shot is going to do a lot. We can do Charge Shot into Laser Pulse. We might get lucky. We got to 7. That's not going to be enough to handle Beam Sweep. I think that means we just do this. I think we might as well still put the damage here to get the next beam sweep offline, because that seems to be the danger that we're dealing with. Now we're just going to take the ion, and then we're going to hope that we can barrier next time. We're not going to get Harness Strike out. And then we're generating 3 mass. I think we don't need quite that much mass, and we could use getting up to 6 here, so that hopefully we can fully block the beam. Oh, the beam was going off there. That was my bad. I thought we had another turn. So the heat means that we discarded a card already, maybe? I'm not sure. So let's see, we should have probably put more into Ordnance now that I'm looking at it. For each laser attack played, reduce the cost of all other laser attacks. Okay, so we play Streamline with our mass. That's going to allow us to play Echo Pulse and... Yeah, we get to play Echo Pulse, and that's going to reduce the cost. So let's stop the Ion from firing. Well, now I'm a bit conflicted. Oh, wait, we play the Catalyst Pulse. That's going to reduce it 1 more. Oh, Streamline is insane. We take Beam offline, and then that's a... Oh, yeah. Okay, that was delightful. That was... Streamline is excellent. We get a PDC array, which we're going to have a place to put because we sold our missiles, which is amazing. And then we will upgrade equipment. I like Flak Barrage because it's so light on mass consumption. Oh, we have Repeater Laser, which deals 3 damage but makes all of our other shots cheaper. That could be really, really good, and it only costs tactical. I probably need to take some defense here. Capacitor, gain 5 mass. Gain 5 mass or gain 5. I might want to take the capacitor just because I think we're going to be... This gives us an alternative way to get shields so that we can play more aggressively, offensively. We'll see if that's a wise choice. Now the PDC array, we're not gonna have a person to man it. Oh, this goes in the auxiliary mount. Oh, I thought this was gonna go in a launch bay. Interesting. So this comes with, if a missile is incoming, destroy one missile, else deal 2 damage. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So let's see. So we could get a reactor upgrade, which seems pretty valuable. I'm going to reduce another energy there and try and go 4-3. We're pretty glass cannon-y at the moment, but a reactor upgrade seems very good. If we pick up a crew, we need to get something else. Are we going to have... There's another space station here or equipment. I think we might... Another crew might be a good idea. I don't know if we're going to have another opportunity to find another crew, but it's no value now, I don't think. Yeah, let's grab them. Your sensors pick up a garbled distress call coming from an escape pod, and sending a drone to inspect the pod, you notice it's of Newman origin. Newman go to great lengths to avoid contact with any outside faction. Whatever the pod is doing here, it's very far from Newman space. Well, let's pick it up and see if it's bad news. You pick up the escape pod prior to open, welcome the Newman on board and proceed. Put the Newman back into the pod and shoot it out into space in front of all of your crew members. Let's welcome them on board. Thank you, Captain. Not many would have trusted a Newman on board their ship. I will aid your journey and kindness. All right. That's probably one where we could have gotten punished. So they are Newman, and they are a gunner level 0. All of our people appear to be level 0. So I could put you here. I wonder if we get more value from... I can't really see more information about them, so we'll have to wait and see. But we've learned about a new thing. Can I go to here? Okay. I was wondering if I could go back. We'll see when we go to here, I guess. Let's see. Crew to take their positions. All right. Okay, they have a flak barrage too, we see. So we can spend our tactical and this, but we don't have streamline, which means 3-6. Oh, we can do a lot here. So let's get, this is +1 damage dealt. Let's target lock. What is covering fire? 2 to 6 damage with a potential discard. So now that we've done this, we can start with the charge shot to shred this. This will do 5 damage to a random hull spot with our flak. Okay. And then we have... Wait, why? Oh, I can't do the echo pulse because of that. Unfortunate. Okay, which means we probably will be taking the barrage. I thought we were going to be able to get the echo pulse off, but we don't have enough of the shields. Okay, that's a nasty hit. Got it. Understood. I see you, game. Ooh, and we don't have enough mass to get streamline going. Or enough of this. I think we're too heavily indexed into ordnance. We'll take out their flak barrage, but we're still going to take the damage from there. Let's get those done. It's not pretty. All right, let's see. So catalyst. So we can streamline here. And then we could go catalyst for 3, covering fire for 2, echo pulse for 1. No, we can't do echo pulse because of the shield requirement. Catalyst pulse for 3, covering fire for 2. Okay, let's streamline. Oh, that's only going to reduce the echo pulse cost by 1. Is it until end of turn? No, it looks like maybe we can hang on to it. But then we can't do covering fire. They have no shields right now. So let's start with covering fire just to see where the damage is. Discarded their broken item. That doesn't seem very useful to us. Yeah, unfortunately, the light barrage is still going to hit us. I think we need a little more ordnance. Yeah, so there's the capacitor that I was hoping was going to show up earlier. Yeah, we're going to be doing a few things here. We'll get that up. Gain 2 if you end your turn with less than 3. This costs all our mass. I don't think we necessarily want to do that. Let's see if we can take their light barrage offline. Oh yeah, they had too many shields for that to be the plan. And yeah, now we don't have the ordnance here. The upgrade keyword, I think it means it's like a power from Slay the Spire. Effect does not expire. Card removed from deck while it's active. Yeah, unfortunately, I think point defense isn't doing us any good. Echo Pulse will hang on to. We could play Rearm. Right now, we're lacking shields. That is our current undoing, it seems. Okay, we have the mass for Flak Barrage. There are all our shields. Thanks, game. We'll deactivate Covering Fire. Finally. Took long enough. Get rid of that. I'm still holding out hope on Streamline, but I think it's too expensive. Now, you're reloading the flak shells, so we're not quite in the danger zone on the flak reload yet. Did I click end turn? I guess I didn't. Okay. So Laser Plus Echo Pulse gets the flak offline. I think that's what we want to do. We get the kill. Nice. Took a lot of damage there, though, for sure. So let's get a shield. Requires active shield, gain 10 shields. We can probably make shield amplifier work. Or we could just get another... Yeah, barricade doesn't work for us, but I think shield amplifier might. It may be a dead draw, but... Okay, we have 170. It's 175 for the next reactor pip, unfortunately. Oh, can we go here? No, we can't go here. Now we have an elite combat. Why do I feel like this might be the end of our run? Disadvantage unprepared. Bright lights suddenly flare up on the ship's monitors. An undetected ship is approaching with weapons hot. Startled, the crew rushes to their positions. Okay, so we can balance things out if we want to. Let's get a bit more shields. No, Halloran. I'm just checking it out of my own volition. There's no anything like that. But I'm pretty excited about it. It's pretty cool. Okay, missile defense, spin up. All right. A little bit of heat was generated there. We can do a flak barrage. And there's no missile on the way right now, but missile defense destroys one missile and consumes one ammo. Or spin up. Every time chain burst is played, it reduces the cooldown. That's nerve-wracking. I think we need to lessen our mass production even more to try and get going on that. And then I think we just flak burst. But that probably needs to go away. I don't see anything that's a missile. Expand capacity we're not going to have space for. And then we're only going to get to use one barrier next turn. Chain Burst is the thing we got to take offline. I think that's for sure. We have no shields right now. We can't get to 6. Yeah, this may be the death of us. Holy smokes. This does max damage to shields. So this will get through the shields, but it's all that we get to do. And then Beam Sweep is going to go off for 6. So we need to play a barrier. And I think Charge Shot is a good play here. I feel like we don't have the reactor for this, though. Okay, Echo Pulse does 4. Laser Pulse does 4. Covering Fire does 2 to 6. We can only play one of these. I think we... Okay, Chain Burst is going to ignite for 3. That's going to be a little annoying. I think we're going to play Conservation, even though we're only getting 1 shot off. Well, oh, we can make big shields if we want this turn. If we play Conservation. We play Covering Fire. Okay. Discarded that. Then, oh, I don't have any mass to play Barrier. Disaster. I thought I was gonna have enough, but yeah, the third resource got me good there. So we're gonna take 3 heat, which is, I think, is gonna, oh wow, oh, that hits 3 times. Chain Burst hits for oh wow, okay, noted. Okay, Scorch is firing this turn. I think we need to, we're probably just gonna die, but let's go for that. And then you have 7 shields, so we're not doing anything here. So we'll just put some damage into shields, I think. Target lock's too expensive, and Harness Strike. Yeah, I'm a little confused as to how we're supposed to. It seems like we need a lot more mass. Okay, we get to play this. But yeah, see, we're way too deep here. And this is going to fire and basically kill us, I think. We don't need you. Harness Strike, we didn't have the mass for. Streamline, we didn't have the mass for. It seems like my intuition was right that we needed more mass, but yeah, we're going to take 9 plus heat damage, which I think kills us. Or pretty close. Okay, not as bad, but the fact that the Chain Burst is going off every turn, I think means we're dead. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Oh, Halloran, my pleasure. Alina of the Arena is an amazing game. I will probably go back to revisit it if they make any improvements to it. I mean, I think to stay alive, we have to play the barrier. And then we can play the shield amplifier. But then we can only play one of these, and they're generating more shields than we can take down. So I think we're in a bad way. That's too expensive. Like, we're just barely keeping ourselves alive. But they're fortifying like every other turn, which is completely bananas. Completely bananas. Okay, so we can technically laser pulse. Okay, so they have 2 right now. We would have to do 10, I think, here to survive. Well, 12 technically. We could play rearm, but I don't think... Are we going to use those resources for anything else? We'll just play it. We're not going to use those resources for anything else. Yeah, and we only get to play 2 of these. So I think it is... That's all she wrote for us. Yeah, Chain Burst kills us. Okay. It's interesting, though. We're at -2 hit points. Okay, I was wondering. Interesting. Very interesting. All right. Well,